Hello everybody, Forest Month is here again. Today I'd like to uncover, if I can say in this way, the mystery about a knife made by Tops, and it is Tracker T3. This guy. Just see that? Some of you give me say advice or something. I spoke, my videos about trackers, and one of you says, would you like to try the T3 model? Because, it is not that big, but still I can say good enough for chopping, of course, for light chopping, not too short, and, etc. And especially with the material ATS 34, which is rust resistant steel, I said, yeah, that could be a good choice. My Bark River tracker, as you know, is, I hope now, in Bark River. So I like the knife also, but something smaller than T1 is, and a bit longer than T2 is, will be something good. I think they made it in this thinking. So to be honest, I didn't find any source of like proper informations about the model T3, and even on Tops Knife page, and that was really surprised me. So I'm making this video. This is a home video, as you can see. I will do outdoor review. I don't know when exactly now, don't have time, Christmas coming, but I hope very soon. But for most of you, when I read some questions on Amazon, say there's simply no informations about the knife, only that it is made from ATS 34, now 154 cm, and basically that's it. And of course it is something between T1 and T2, and that's it. The length and thickness, there's really few information on YouTube, probably, as you know. So let's start with it. I made two papers which will leading me, and I hope will help you out. You see that? This is because if I will talk about the knife, this is first one, this is second one. Each of them got the right place. I'll let you know. Each of them will help me, because if I will speak about the knife, it will be very short, of course. But people usually asking why to choose the T3 model, why not the original T1, and this is some comparing, which is, I think, the most of important for someone who is thinking, oh, shall I buy T1 or T2 or even T3, say T4 now, the Mini. That's a little bit, the Mini is a little bit out of topic, because that's really small knife, so that's not something what I want to speak about it. Even I don't have it now, it's too expensive. I will say you the price, and it's simply small, so it is losing the like chopping power. Of course, the small one, the chopping power of trackers, which each of them, I mean T1, 2 and 3 got some chopping power compared to the size and weight. But T4, the Mini one, is too small for saying something chopping, it's small knife. But out of that now, let's start it. So as I said, firstly, to say for start, that will be very easy. T2 sheath, T1 sheath, same two clips, the same, and this is T3 sheath, absolutely same. There's nothing different. Kydex, the rotation clips, you can rotate them, in one way, and use it, say, for the coat style, carry, or simply whatever you want. That's it. All of them are the same, so I will not speak about that. Maybe yes, just maybe it is after using, but seems to me the retention, the knife is really quiet there. Maybe the retention here, sorry, this part is a little bit better, seems to me. I'll check it out with how deep the knife is. Yes, so compared to T1, as you can see, the Kydex here is finishing really behind the first choil, if I can call it like this one. So see that? This is the border, and that's the finish. T3 is going a bit further. You know, T1 should finish somewhere here, and this is like extra, which is holding the knife more in, secure in. You see, it is in the way about to halfway of the second choil, and this is here the second choil is really uncovered. This is simply is there. And let's have a look for the T2 if we are talking about that. Yes, so it is close to T2. T2 model got the same. So see that? So this is first choil and there is the second one. So to the sheath, but yeah, so but maybe it is after using. I don't know, you know, it's simply I got this knife some time. This is really like better made. So the sheath for secureness, which is you know, this knife T2 is the lightest from these. This one, of course, the second one, and this one is the heaviest, and it has the less secure sheath than the others. Yeah, I cut myself to a finger here because it tried to retention, and simply the knife fall down, and when I try this movement, I was stab it here. So I've got a problem with the pinky now. I fix it for myself, but it was a little bit, you know, I was tired, maybe it was that, but nothing problem. I fix it for myself, but I will speak about that later in another video, what everything you got in your first aid kit. That's important because sometimes can happen, and you need to fix it for yourself in outdoor activities. Guys said, so many of you, I'm sorry I'm going a little bit out of the topic now, but guys said use the gloves. Yes, but not all the time, you know, simply this is your nature work, not with gloves, you know, outdoor, just in a garden, in cabin, in forest, somewhere there. But I will speak about that a little bit later. So guys, don't do that. Yeah, if you do this knife is simply not that secure inside. When you do this movement, it can fall down and you can harm yourself because the knife is really heavy, and when you smash it, so it stays there. So point of all of these, what I'm saying now is, even if this one is the heaviest, so the risk of that knife can fall down from that sheath is the biggest on this knife. It is the less secure than the lightest models. So that's the point what I want to say now about that. So that's the sheath. We will not talk about the sheath anymore now because I think there is no point. The sheath for me is good. So we go to this paper because it will help us. So material T1 1095, T2 1095, and T3. As I said, it used to be made from ATS 34, and we can see this 154 cm, which I found is basically the same steel, stainless steel, and so you got a coating like on the other models, but basically you don't need it. So that's thing about the hardness, which is going to question now. T1, T2, even T4, the mini one, I think is 58 to 56. So basically 56 on the spine, 58 the hard part is on the near the edge or the other model. about the T3, I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. I didn't find it in that information, so I don't know. I'm guessing it is same, but I don't know. So it's that's interesting. Well, we got the blade thickness. Oh, we're going a bit further. We got T1 6.4 millimeters. We got T2. Oh, sorry, 6.4 millimeters, and it is quarter of an inch. Exactly quarter of an inch. It should be T2 should have 0.19. So just comparing 0.19. You see that? Yes. 0.19, which is 4.6. I used measurement for this particular knife. It was sometimes 4.6, 4.7 millimeters. I don't know actually, can tell you now. And we got here a question. I didn't find again information about thickness from some serious page, and it is actually, because I measured it, it was 5.2 millimeters, 5.2 millimeters, and it is somewhere 0.21, 0.22 of an inch, so somewhere there. So it is, again, it is between T1 and T2. Want to see it now from the thickest. Just have a look. So the problem is that the T1 and T2 are like shiny now, so they look maybe a bit more thicker, but they are not. They are not. Simply different between these two knives is. I'm trying to find the angle. Sorry. So guys, this one, yeah, probably this is the angle. So you can see the black one, T3, is a little bit thicker. Not that big. It's not that big deal. It's 0.6 of millimeter, but it is still something. Wait a moment. So these are acupuncture needles. It's part of my job, so I'm somewhere in that kind of work. And this can you see that? Yeah, I hope so. This needle, I mean, of this say blade, is 0.25. I'll show you by my shirt, t-shirt. Sorry. So I'm back. Sorry. Imagine this needle, as I said, is a quarter of 1 millimeter. So the difference in thickness between these two knives is 0.6 millimeter, about, I don't know exactly this. So it is twice than this one is, twice thicker. So imagine if that thickness will be like the knife will be made in that thickness. So you will see it, I mean, from this look, and probably will slice and everything because it is simply steel. So, you know, the difference means something. Of course, if this is 5.2 and this is 6.4 millimeters, so now you can see the difference. So the difference is twice than this difference. It means something. Of course, we will not speak about this one, because 6.4 millimeters, 4.6 or 7, I don't know exactly. It should be, I think, oh no, it's 0.19 the thickness. So it is about thickness, just for your imagination. Sometimes we are talking about hair, you know, it is hair thicker. But what is hair? If you got this thickness, you can see it and you can feel it. So it means something for me. So I'm glad for it. The way why I'm saying this one is I'm glad for this is over than 5 millimeters thicker. Also because I don't know the hardness, and if it's differentially heat treat on that, I don't know. And I would be glad if yes, if it is, but I don't know how they're working with this, with these steels. So more thicker now for me is simply better. Well, carry on. We got the prices from yesterday, which was 21st of December 2017, and it was on Amazon. On Amazon, T1 was for 224.95, so basically 225 US dollars. T2 was for 180.85, so nearly 181 US dollars for T2 model, and T3 was for 223.92, so 224 US dollars for this model. Just for information, the small one, the T4 Mini, was for 100 and nearly 5 US dollars. I don't know, now I would basically nearly complete the trackers from Tops. I don't know if I will buy the T4 because in my country I will pay about 185 US dollars, include shipping and everything these, which is quite expensive. It's more than if I will buy the T2. To be honest, in my country, the model T3 is the most expensive of these trackers. So even the price of T1 is, yeah, it is $1 more expensive T1 than T3. In my country it is $50. There's about somewhere about, say, from 54 to 50 US dollars different, where T3 is about, say, that 50 US dollars more expensive than T1. That's what you can imagine. That's about the price. Handle materials, we got now what they got this model, so black linen micarta, all of them. Now see a little bit how it looks when it's used. So it is smooth more. Now this is like a new one, you can see. And they making now new models as well. They using green canvas micarta. Green canvas micarta. You can see the new line of look, but basically they are the same. But as I know, they are not making in that green version or coyote tan, I think, I'm not sure, I mean the coating for T3. I don't know if they are making the T3 models now. It's just sell what they got somewhere in stores and that's it, because as I said, they don't have any information about the T3 model now, so who knows. Carry on. Kydex, as I said, well, and we going to specifications more, so I hope it will not boring for you. We got T1, a knife. It is, I think, described weight is 21 ounces. Yes, 21 ounces. It's interesting. Yes, 21 ounces, yes. And this one weighs 20.7 of an ounce, or 588 grams. You know, this knife, 588 grams. The sheath weighs 5 ounces exactly, or 142 grams. As I'm saying exactly, but I got these say ropes or paracords there. They weigh something, maybe 1 gram, but here on the T2 model I got more, so maybe that weight on the sheet is a little bit less just for the sheet, but I think it is not a big deal. So overall we got 25.7 ounces, which is 730 grams. 730 grams. And for you guys which you don't know that how is going kilo and pounds, 1 pound is 0.45 about of kilo, so less than half kilo. and I got the one pound is 16.21 ounces. So it's just for me. Just show you again. You don't need to go back to that. Let's carry on. So we said knife basically 21 ounces, 588 grams. Described it should be about 600 grams. T2, the small one, as a knife 9.5 ounces, 9.5 or 27.1 grams, 271 grams. Sheath is a little bit less, but mention this this lashing again, 4.4 ounces or 125 grams. Together 13.9 ounces or 396 grams, the T2. And now finally the T3. The knife itself is just for 13.8 ounces or 391 grams, which means it is a little bit lighter, the knife, than overall package of T2 as an only knife. So this is about the same weight. Sheath is 4.5, so a little bit heavier than the sheath for T2, just a bit, or 127 grams, or altogether 18.3 ounces or 518 grams. And finally, why we are talking about that? So for someone who want to buy some of the trackers and don't know which one will be the best for him. So we got 730 grams T1, 730 grams or 518, so 200 grams different. I'll show you what it means. It means, as I remember, I'm not sure properly, this is the Lion Steel M5, and this knife I think is weighs about 211 grams, which is practically exactly the difference in weight between T1 and T3. So if I say, we're talking about knives, no with a sheath. Sorry, we are talking about overall package of T3 plus Lion Steel M5 without sheath together weighs nearly exactly as a T1 like this. So you can have basically two knives in weight on one. Of course, it's a little bit different thinking, you know, but you can have these two knives with you. This one is nearly half weight of this still, because there's different thickness and everything. I will make a review for this great knife also, but you know, sometimes who's thinking about some backup, this one 211 grams, very, like I say, light, but you feel is tough enough. So that could be the difference. So 518 grams together, or 18.3 ounces of the T3 model. Handle thickness. Handle thickness. And we are talking about this. This is T1 model. We are talking about this thickness now. So 0.81 of an inch on T1 model, or 20.6 millimeter. 20.6 millimeter. So T2 is really tiny in that thing. So, but not about this size later. Is 0.64 of an inch. 0.64 of an inch and 16.2 millimeters here, you know. And T3 here is very close to T2 in this part. It is 0.65, so that was 0.61. Sorry, it was 0.64. This is 0.65. So it's really very close in this thickness, or 16.5 millimeter. So this is, as I showed you, the needle, the difference in thickness is just like the needle, difference. It will be really tiny, because I said sometimes when I see someone, I think Wingman is showing the T4 model, and he's doing nice job with that. And sometimes when I see how he's using the T4, the mini one, you know, I'm thinking about this knife, about T2, like about that, because I can handle it in that way. It's really comfortable, and because the tiny handle is really tiny handle compared to, say, first T1. This is really, see that? This is really something. Or compared to T3, thickness, as I said, is same, but wideness is different. For me, I can feel this handle, but in this length should be on the T2 model. It will feel maybe a little bit better, because this is, I got small hand, as I said, but it is really tiny. It is really tiny. I need to really close, and basically I'm losing this one. I can't feel properly this part. So this is really I don't know. We'll see. But when I say I can use this one as he's using the T4, because in the hand you can feel, even it weighs a little bit less than 300 grams, which is quite heavy. As someone says heavy, but the feeling of the knife is really small, because the wideness, you can grab the knife nicely here and use it in this way to do something like that. I think this is the meaning of this, why the blade is so wide here, because you can grab it and do some small light task. So that was the point of these. So basically, the thickness of the handle for T2 and T3 are basically the same, but is only there. We are going to the second paper. So sorry, I don't have some programs where I can make it like that. What is the point here? Wow, so many things. So we'll start on the handle. Why I have talked about the handle. So see this one. It means that T3 has got 1.11 of an inch there, which is 28 millimeters, and it is actually the part which is important for us, and that's this one. How this one is comfortable, and this is the greatest comfortable handle among these trackers, even I think with a Bark River tracker, because I feel it is not that slip. It's nicely, you feel it in your hand. It's not wide, too wide. I think the same thickness of these micarta handles, this one, could be used on model T1, and it will be a little bit comfortable. That's my opinion. It's not, I don't have that problem with that, but I feel it in the hand. That's important. Until I had this knife T3 model in my hand, who knows? Well, so, and for comparing, so we got 1.1, so T1 is 1.15, so a little bit, so 29.4, so it is 1.4 millimeters wider there. And T2, we see the difference here is 0.87 of an inch, or 22.6 of millimeter. So we can see these T1 and T3 are very close together, 1.3 millimeter, but T2 is somewhere 7 millimeter difference, guys, is somewhere like this one, and that's something in a handle. Yeah, that's really something. Carry on. We got the overall length. I will take the overall length, so which is, well, so T3 is 10.5 of an inch, this one, 10.5, or 266.7 millimeters, so 26 centimeters and 67 centimeters. T1 model is overall length is 11.88. I measured it on my 11.88, which is 30.17 centimeters, so bit over 30 centimeters. And I found, I think it was on internet, no, 11.88, sorry, is from Tops page. I found my knife 11.81, but yes, some there, so I don't know, it's really nothing. My measuring is definitely not that exactly. T2 should be 9.33 of an inch overall length, or 9.5, and I measured it for 237 millimeters, so 23.7 centimeters, or 30. Sorry, I got a 2413, which is, I think, from the Tops page. Okay, what we got next? Let's start with the most important parts here. The wideness part here, and I measured it from this point, so really up, which is somewhere here. Sorry, which is somewhere here. The line here is 55 millimeters, as I can remember. Yes, it is 55 millimeters here, or 2.16 of an inch. This one on model T3. We got T1. The original model is much more wider. Is 2.39. So 2.39 or 60.7 millimeters, so over 6 centimeters there. And T1 is 1.89 of an inch, or 48 millimeter. So let's say these two knives, T3 and T1, are in this point more close than these two guys, so T3 and T2. Why? Because there is just about 5, maybe maximum 6 millimeters different, and we got 7, maybe more millimeters different. So this is really, I think this one is made as a company, or you know, some even bushcraft or something. These two are more like survival for me, of course. Well, carry on. Draw knife, T1 draw knife. We got 2.36 or exactly 6 centimeters. 2.36, so draw knife. On T3 model here, we got 2.04 of an inch on draw knife, or 52 millimeters. This one. Yeah, and on oh, sorry, my fault. It was on the small knife, or on the T2. We got T2 2.2 or 51.5. So basically, I'm saying this one, in this way. This is 6 centimeters, and this is 5.15 centimeters, and this is 5.2 millimeters. So these are basically the same. The draw knife is basically the same. I mean the length, of course, here. This one is a little bit longer, a little bit, 8 millimeters. Yeah, when you slice, you got 6 millimeter more for using. That's nice. For the rest of the blade, I mean the curvature here. T1 3.32 of an inch, 3.32 of an inch here, or 84.5 millimeters, so 8 centimeters and 45, so basically 8.5 centimeters. This one, of course, I measured it in this way. So it was T1. T2 is 2.46. 2.46. This one somewhere, or 62.5 millimeters, so 6 centimeters and 25 millimeters. Oh. That's well, that's really small. And we got finally T3, 2.95 or 75 millimeters, so 7.5 centimeters. So let's compare it. We got basically 8.5, 7.5, and 6 1/4. So of course, so this one, this part is shorter. I mean, compare the size, is shorter than on the other models. It's a little bit shorter. And when I looked for the knife, this one seems to me like it's more rounded, you know. And these two models are a little bit going more to tip. You know, you know what I mean. T2, sorry, yes, T2 and T1 and T3 are more like going. They want to make a little bit stronger tip. I mean, stronger for stubbing, so better tip, basically. And of course, we got the full length of the blade, which is from here, from the handle. This is T1 model, to the tip. So they call it blade, but this is not actually edge. We'll speak about later. So T1 6.29. I found 6.38. So it is 16 centimeters, so 160. This knife exactly. On Topps page they got 6.38, so there is a little bit different, and 16.2 millimeters. Exactly, it doesn't look for me. I tried to measure it a couple of times. This is the one model, as I said, and 16 centimeters. That's it. But you know, 2 millimeters is just there's nothing. This we got T2 model, the small one. Blade is 485 and 123.4 millimeters, so 12 and 34 centimeters, 12.34 centimeters. This one, so something somewhere around 5 inches, very close to 5 inches. And we got model T3, which is 5.5 of an inch, or 139.7 millimeters, so basically 14 centimeters blade from the handle, from here to the tip. Compare it. Difference between T1 and T3 is 2 centimeters on the blade, in the length of the blade. See it like this one. And difference between T2 and T3 is 1.5 centimeter. So in the blade length, the T3 is close to T2. So they decided to make a bit shorter. So it could be 14.5, about, if they want to be close, 14.25, but they simply want it shorter. And I think this is whole the point of the knife. I mean, basically, make it small, compact, but heavy enough to do everything what you need. That's my opinion. So this knife T3 is going close to the idea also. But it is more compact, more nice feeling in the hand. But of course, it is not that big chopper, because the difference in weight is 200 grams. And for the chopping, when you hold it like this way, and when you chop, when you swing, you are somewhere else. You know, you feel it. You feel the forward movement, even on the T2 model, but you need to really go down, but you feel it here. But simply it is the different. So we got this one, we got everything here, and of course handle. We got a handle length which is T1 5.52 of an inch, or 14.2 of millimeter, 14.02 of millimeter, so 14 centimeters, basically the handle from here. T2 is much more shorter, 4.47 or 113.6 millimeters, so 11.36 of centimeters. That's really different. It is basically 1 inch shorter, and I think you can see it. Sorry, you can see it. Well, and T3 finally is exactly 5 inches. I measure it like that. It's 127 millimeters, so 12 centimeters, 0.7, and it is about 1 centimeter longer than the T2. If I said I got small hands, so if I take this knife to the handle, you see I got some spare space, so definitely I will have it with the 1 centimeter longer handle. You can see it, but the longer for me is better. 12 centimeters is nice, and of course the wideness here, that's major. If that will be wide like this one, it will be not that comfortable, but this is great. Well, so we got all the stats as I found. Now we got some spare space. When you grab the knife, we spoke about it, you got about 1.5 centimeter between your finger and the real edge. 1.5 centimeter. Wow, which is 0.667, 65, somewhere 0.65 of an inch. You got 1 centimeter here. It is T2, and T3 of course is somewhere between. It's 125, somewhere there. So that's important to know. So you don't have that thing. If I can say, steepness of the angle of grinding here, Stops is known for it. I mentioned it in my another videos. Is I can measure it now. I can measure it now on this because I redo it, but I did it here, and it is 15 millimeters in length. But this is the thinnest from these knives. So 15 millimeters. T2, T1, 16 millimeters, but this is the thickest. And there is 15 also on T3 model. Even it is thicker than the T2. It is same. The angle here basically is probably more steep, which makes the knife a little bit more useful for slicing and whatever. You know these things. So I need to redo it here. I want to change something here. I mean, for the draw knife here, I'm fine. But now another point. I don't know if you can see that. You know, secondary bevel. Yeah, that's secondary. All the silver line is the secondary bevel. Yeah, that's horrible. That's horrible. That will take some work. Sharpness, actually. Initial sharpness. I reduced, as I said, I reduced my T2. Wow. I'm working on T2, but sorry. And that's T2, as I said. but it's my job on it. I need to work on it. I feel sharp on the touch, but it's not exactly what I want to. New one, T3, original edge, didn't touch it. Wow. Not that sharp there. Tip is nicely sharp, but the rounded part, for the touch, I feel the rounded part, this one, more sharper than the draw knife. For the touch, yes, it is, but not that good. So someone said it was sharp as hell. I don't think so. And my original T1, after I did some job on it, and sorry, this is the, I don't know why it's happened. I tried it. Yeah, it's just paper. What I want to say, this one. So this is great. What I want to say, I need to work on the secondary bevel again. I'm not happy with that, but I will do it definitely, because the angle, especially when the tooth here, it is. I need to work on it. I need to work on it. It's, you know, I believe I can do some woodwork with it, but I don't know. I don't want to do it. Well, another thing. Just it is not really matter. You got 6 teeth here. You got 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 teeth here. And of course you got 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teeth here. So it say basically nothing, but just, you know, it is there. And as I think it is the last thing I want to tell you, if someone say, I never seen the T3 model, I seen an uncoated version, and I am not sure if the knife is T1 or T3. Say someone will not see them, so they're looking a little bit, you know, this one is really bigger and heavier. But say, okay, someone's got a question, is it T1 or T3? Without coding, no any here, no nothing here, so just the steel. It's interesting, I don't know why they made it, but you can feel this flat part. It is actually only on T3 model. Here could be definitely one more tooth, sorry, if they wanted, but they probably decided not. I'm glad for it. So if you see that one, there is 1 centimeter spare place, maybe for batoning. Someone says, okay, I can't hit it. When I do batoning, I can't hit these teeth because it's destroying my wood or whatever. So you can hit it here definitely. It is, you can see it is nearly, when you hit here, this tooth will go nicely down. I don't know if this one was the meaning or whatever, but it is there. Have a look for the difference. See that? Yeah. So basically, on the other models, you got up, 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 and down. I got the first choil, or how we call it. So this is the first tooth. T2, the same. You go up, and now you're down. T4 model mini, check on the internet if you like to. Same as T1 and T2. T3 different. You go up, and now you go to 1 centimeter flat part. So this is something what I say. Okay, if I never seen these knives, and I want to say which one of them is the T3. Definitely this is something what you can put some out without, you know, you do blade redoing, I mean whatever you want to do there, stripped out coating and everything. This one probably, I don't know what you will do if you want to remove this one, will be there, so you can recognize it for very first look. Is it there first, the 1 centimeter flat part before the teeth? Yes, okay, that's T3 model. Yeah, so that's something that can help you. Final thinking about this knife. I feel it very nice. I never use that saying at the moment, but I feel it really nicely. And yeah, this could be right version, especially if you are not just one tool option guy, because I like my T1. But sometimes I got feeling, you know, because if I'm going for camping, not for, you know, surviving anyway, who's from us is surviving, really surviving. I like the knife, so because I can, I'm taking some more knives to do whatever I like. But if I really need to choose, I said, okay, I need to have knife for this, for that. I have a couple of reasons. Then to take T1 plus, say, some chopper, I mean longer chopper, kukri, which is much more longer, of course. You got more reach, you can fall small tree with it, even something in excess. Then T1 is going a little bit out of use because it's simply heavy, and now you don't need the heaviness. T2 in that way is too small for it. I miss the stronger tip. So the T3 is making place for that. It could stay alone, but it is easy to accompany it with a smaller knife, like, say, if I want to stay. Okay, it could be, you know, it's a little bit longer, but still, because the heaviness and usefulness of these, because it's straight edge and different grinding and everything. So M5, see, it is shorter, much more lighter, so it could be a company. Even that's my choice. T1 exactly, but you can have it with that. So it is, you know, if I'm saying, do I need it? No. But if I want it and I have the space, I like it, yes. But that's because length. If I'm going to DPX, this 4 inches blade, well, we are going close, because now the length and weight is more in difference now. I got different quality of knife, you know, different grind, and I got a tip for stabbing, you know, if I need to do some holes and whatever, like this knife can do it nicely. Or I want to be more lighter. I'm going really for a company for really bushcraft tasks, say this Bark River Mini Aurora, very light, 100 grams, 4 ounces, guys. So this could be, you know, nice company for the knife. See that this is really tiny now. It's quarter of weight about. And if I want to be really super light and super compact, I can take this Blackjack as a of course fixed blade. Even any folders, so that's basically, I think, said what I want to say. Yes. So, and if I'm talking about a bigger choice for chopper, T3 plus, say, that my kukri plus Bark River or some even folder, you got three knives option for basically everything around you. You don't need to care on T3 if you are in wet area and everything. That's good. And simply, I said, for me, the kukri and this knife, something really small, light, and you're done for, I think, every environment. I think so. The nice on the T3 model is it can stay alone also. So it is not that light, it is not that tiny. It is stainless steel, which is good also for simply now you can have it in every area on the world, which is great. You don't need to care about it. So that's I think very good choice. But I will do outdoor video with the T3, and I will do comparing, so chopping with some things around, and you can see what is the better choice maybe for you. And also I will know the knife much more, because I will do regrinding and everything. Then I can tell you much more how it is working, how I'm feeling after that, and I believe it will be good. So thank you for your attention. Have a nice time. See you guys, and Merry Christmas. And that's really sad, guys.